Hello everyone. Up till now we have discussed the examination of victim in case of rape. Today we talk about the examination of the accused person. First, general procedure in the examination. The doctor who has examined the victim, he only should examine the accused also for the same case, because this doctor is aware about the case details, and as he has examined the victim also, he can relate the findings with the accused also. So for the better opinion, for better conclusion of the case, the same doctor should examine the accused also. Written consent of the accused should be taken before the examination is started. The accused is explained how the examination will be done, what is the purpose of the examination. So after understanding, the accused should give written consent for this examination. If accused refuses the consent or refuses the examination, the court may interfere, but accused has to give the consent. Examination should be done without delay. This is to avoid the destruction of the minor signs. You know, the minor injuries fade very early. So to avoid such, or to get the exact evidence, examination must be started without delay. Normally, the police constable brings accused person to the doctor for such examination. These police constables should identify the accused person. So identification is done. History is taken from the accused person, history regarding the past history, regarding the medical illness or any other important surgical operation. This history should be taken. Exact time, date and place of examination should be recorded. એક્ઝામિનેશન ક્યાં થયું, કઈ ડેટ પર થયું, કયા ટાઈમે થયું, એ બધું જ નોટ ડાઉન કરવું જોઈએ. એજ, ડેવલપમેન્ટ ઓફ જેનાઇટલ્સ એન્ડ ફિઝિકલ પાવર ઓફ ધ એક્યુઝ શુડ બી નોન. ડૉક્ટર શુડ ટ્રાય ટુ ગેટ ધ એજ ઓફ ધ એક્યુઝ પર્સન, એના એક્સટર્નલ જેનાઇટલ્સ ડેવલપમેન્ટ કેટલું થયેલું છે અને એની ફિઝિકલ સ્ટ્રેન્થ કેટલી છે, ફિઝિકલ પાવર શું છે, બિકોઝ ઇટ ઇઝ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ. સપોઝ ઇફ ધ ચાઇલ્ડ ઇઝ સ્મોલ ચાઇલ્ડ ઇઝ ધેર, physically not well developed, he is not able to commit rape. So physical development of the person, of the accused person, is very, very important. His mental state and general behavior should be noted. Sometimes you find the accused excited, sometimes irritable, sometimes very much cool, not responding to the procedure. Sometimes the accused is cooperative. So whatever is the behavior, mental status of the person, that you have to note. Sometimes the accused might have taken alcohol when he comes to you for the examination. So you have to note whether accused is under the effect of the alcohol or any other such drug. Accused is not allowed to go to washroom if accused is examined immediately after the crime. Because if you allow the accused person to go to washroom alone, accused may try to wash the parts, to wash the clothes, so to remove, to destroy the stains, because these stains are a very important evidence. So to prevent such attempt of accused person, accused should not be allowed to go to washroom alone. General examination. The clothes of the accused should be examined. The clothes are examined to get the stains. These stains are seminal stain. Seminal stains are found on the front part of the undergarment. You may find the blood stain. It may be the due to signs of the struggle, right? So clothes may be torn sometimes. You may find the foreign hair in the clothes. So to get all these evidences, the clothes should be examined. You may get seminal stain. I just told you, in front of the lower undergarment, you will find this seminal stain. Nail scrapings. It may find the skin debris of the victim. So nail scraping should be taken. You have to look for the pubic hair. In the pubic hair, you may find the foreign hair, that is the female hair. Whether the accused has venereal disease, the same disease which the victim got. And if you find any signs of the struggle, you should look for these signs in the general examination. Then we go for the local examination, that is the genital examination. You have to find the status of general development, genital development in relation to potency. Because the impotent person cannot commit rape. Impotence means failure to have sex or failure to perform sexual intercourse. It is inability of a person to have or to perform sexual intercourse. So the person when not able to have coitus cannot commit rape. Right? So we have to check genital development in relation to the potency. Then injuries to genitals. These may develop due to the forceful coitus. The glans penis should be examined for vaginal cells. It is due to penetration of the vulva by the penis. Presence or absence of smegma on corona glandis. Smegma is a thick cheesy secretion. These you find on the corona glandis. It takes about 24 hours to develop. So if smegma is found, smegma is present, this indicates coitus has not been done, because with coitus smegma gets destroyed. You will find smegma absent, right? So if smegma is absent, it means coitus is not done. If smegma is present, that means coitus has not been done. If smegma is absent, that means it indicates the recent coitus, right? And smegma collects by about 24 hours. Foreskin of the glans penis may be retracted if accused is not circumcised. So this you will find on genital examination. Now what specimens you would collect from the accused person? Matted pubic hair combings, loose hair which you found on the body parts, nail scrapings, swab from coronal sulcus, prepuce, penile shaft and urethral orifice, and the blood flow grouping. These specimens should be collected from the accused person for the further examination. So this was about the examination of the accused person. With this we completed the rape. Thank you.